What is the toughest interview question you've ever faced? Was it, why should we hire you? Or maybe, what's your biggest weakness? Here's a fact most professionals don't realize. 80% of mid-level managers in India lose out on leadership positions not because of lack of skills, but because they stumble on tough interview questions. And the worst part, it's not the answer itself. It is the hesitation, the long pause that kills the opportunity. In today's video, I'm not only going to share with you the art of answering tough interview questions without hesitation, but I'll also give you 8 of the most tricky interview questions with sample answers, so you know exactly what to say when you face them. And if you want to go even deeper, I have a free masterclass on the Triple E system of English learning. The link is in the description. But stay with me till the end because I'll give you a simple 3-sentence framework that you can use in any interview to answer any question confidently. Let me take you back to one of my own interviews when I was just 5 years into my corporate career. The panel asked me, "So tell me about a time you failed." My brain froze. I translated from Hindi. I fumbled. I gave a long, confusing answer. And I could see it on their faces. The opportunity was slipping. And guess what? I didn't get that role. That day, I learned something powerful. Interviews aren't about your technical expertise alone. They are about how you communicate under pressure. Fast forward, years later, I trained Sanjeev, a senior manager in a multinational company. Brilliant at his job, but he was stuck at mid-level. He told me, "Sir, I can handle billion-dollar accounts." But when they ask me questions like, "Why do you deserve this role?" I freeze. We worked together and I taught him one simple framework for answering tough questions without hesitation. And within 2 months, he got 3 offers for leadership roles. His skills hadn't changed, but his answers had. And I'll share that same framework with you in just a few minutes. So, how do you answer tough questions without hesitation? Let's break it down. Number 1, expect the predictable. 90% of tough interview questions are actually predictable. Tell me about yourself. What's your biggest weakness? Why should we hire you? Now, if you prepare 6-7 structured answers, you will already cover most scenarios. Example, for what is your weakness, don't say, "I'm a perfectionist." They have heard it a million times. Instead say, "Earlier, I used to struggle with delegating tasks because I wanted everything perfect. But over time, I learned that leadership is about trust. Now, I assign ownership early and it has made my teams much stronger." Number 2, use structures like STAR: situation, task, action, results. When asked behavioral questions like, "Tell me about a failure," avoid rambling. Structure your response with STAR. Situation, like in my previous project. Speak tasks like, "We had a challenge with X." Action like, "I did Y." And result, "We achieved Z." Now, this makes your answer sound confident and clear. In a few minutes, I'll show you how to apply STAR while giving answer to a tricky question. Number 3, the 3-second rule to kill hesitation. Now, most professionals hesitate because they rush to answer. Here is the trick. When asked a tough question, silently pause for 3 seconds. Smile, nod, and then start. Now, this shows confidence. It buys you thinking time and kills filler words like actually. Number 4, anchor phrases for tough questions. Prepare some anchor phrases that instantly buy you time and make you sound thoughtful. For example, say, "Oh, that's a great question. Let me give you a quick example." Or, "From my experience, the best way to look at this is," or, "I would like to highlight 2 points here." Now, instead of phrasing, you flow. I'll show you how to do it in a practical way. Number 5, build a leadership vocabulary. Average English makes your answer sound weak. Replace everyday words with leadership words. So don't say, "I did this work." Say, "I led this project." Don't say, "We faced a big problem." Say, "We faced a critical challenge." Don't say, "We used this idea." Say, "We leveraged this strategy." Small shifts lead to big perception. Remember that. And number 6, practice the hot seat drill. Take tough interview questions, record yourself answering them in 2 minutes each, and then watch the recording. You'll immediately notice your pauses, fillers, and hesitations. And this is exactly how Sanjeev trained with me. And that practice under pressure made him unbeatable in real interviews. So, how do you answer tough questions without hesitation? Let's break it down with 8 real interview questions. I'll ask you some common but tricky questions. Pause the video and try to answer these in your own style. And then check the sample answers and try to model your answer around that. Let's start with a basic question. Tell me about yourself. Now, that's a classic opener. No, where candidates get stuck here is that they ramble, they list their CV or start translating from Hindi. What should be the strategy? Structure your answer into present, past, future. So pause and give the answer. Here is my sample answer. Currently, I lead client operations at XYZ where I manage a $50 million portfolio. In the past, I worked across sales and delivery, building cross-functional expertise. Looking ahead, I want to take up a leadership role where I can drive strategic growth. And that's why I'm excited about this opportunity. Now, if you look at this answer is structured, concise, and future focused. Another common question is, what is your biggest weakness? Where candidate gets stuck is, they panic. They say, I'm a perfectionist or something self-sabotaging. Strategy should be, use star plus growth is equal to result angle. Here's an example using this strategy, that is star plus growth is equal to results. So earlier in my career, which is the situation, I struggled with delegating tasks. This is the task. I would end up doing more myself. This is the action. But when I started leading larger teams, I learned to trust and empower them. This is growth. And now projects finish faster with more ownership. This is the result. This answer shows self-awareness and growth. Let's discuss another common question. Why should we hire you? And where candidates get stuck here is, they repeat job description or say, I'll work hard. No, strategy should be 3 bullet structure plus leadership vocabulary. For example, say 3 reasons. First, I bring 12 years of experience leading global accounts, which directly matches your needs. Second, I have consistently delivered results. For example, last year my team achieved 25% cost savings. And third, I bring cross-cultural client management skills, which will help expand your global operations. Now, this answer is confident, logical, and measurable. Sometimes you're asked tricky questions like, tell me about a time when you failed. Now, where candidates get stuck here is, they freeze. Fear looking bad. Strategy should be start and focus on the learning. For example, you may say, in one project, which was the situation, of course, of a star, we underestimated client requirements. That was the task. I led the team but missed aligning early. Failed action. We had to rework, which delayed delivery by 2 weeks. Failed results. The key learning was clear. I now begin every project with a detailed stakeholder alignment session. And since then, projects have been smoother. Now look at the action and result. Honest, but leadership focused. And there's another tricky question. Why do you want to leave your current job? Now, where candidates get stuck here is, they complain about boss, company. They may sound negative sometimes. So strategy should be anchor phrase plus future vision. For example, you may say, oh, that's a good question, which is an anchor phrase. And I want to answer it clearly. I'm not leaving from something. I'm moving towards something. My current role has given me strong expertise, but I now want to contribute at a leadership level, especially in an organization like yours, where I can leverage my skills in strategy and client engagement. Positive framing, no bitterness. No. Then there are vision related questions. Questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now here the candidates get stuck that they sometimes sound unrealistic, like I want to be a CEO, or vague, I don't know. Strategy should be balanced vision, ambition plus realism. Now answer can be, in 5 years, I see myself leading a large business unit with end-to-end ownership of revenue and team growth. I want to grow with the organization, take on challenging assignments, and be seen as a leader who builds high performing teams. Now, this answer is ambitious but achievable. Now, what if you have gap in your resume and you are asked questions like, can you explain this gap in your resume? Now, where candidates get stuck is they get defensive, they over explain, or sometimes even apologize. Now, strategy should be anchor phrase plus concise star. Now, the answer can be like, oh, that's a fair question. During 2020, I took a short career break. This is the situation. To support family needs, this is the task. But during that time, this is the action. I upskilled myself with certifications in project management and client communication. When I returned, I was even better equipped for leadership roles. This is the result. Now, this sample answer turns gap into strength. Okay, do you have any questions for us? Sometimes they are asked. And where candidates get stuck, they say no. Or ask about salary. Strategy should be leadership vocabulary plus curiosity. Answer example can be something like, oh, yes, sir, I do. Sir or ma'am, what are the top 3 leadership qualities you value most in this role? And how do you see this position contributing to the company's long term growth strategy? It positions you as thoughtful and leadership oriented. Did you notice something? In each answer, there is no rush. I pause, I structure, and then deliver. And that's the power of 3-second rule. Instead of panicking, you collect your thoughts and your answer flows with confidence. Let me tell you something surprising. Most interviewers don't even care about your exact answer. They are testing how you handle pressure. Do you hesitate? Do you get defensive? Or do you stay calm, structured, confident? And that's why sometimes even a simple answer, if delivered with calm confidence, beats a complex, technically perfect one. Remember, I promised to give you a 3-sentence framework for any tough question. Here it is. Number 1, acknowledge the question. That's an important point. Number 2, give a structured response. Star or 2 or 3 bullet points. Number 3, close with impact. And that's the key learning from my side. You can literally answer any question with this flow and sound confident. Now, if you're ever felt frustrated about botched interviews or thought, I deserve that job but couldn't express myself, then don't repeat that mistake. Join my free masterclass on the Triple A system of English learning. It is the exact system that helps Sanjeev and hundreds of professionals eliminate hesitation and move into leadership positions. The link is in the description. Register now before the next interview slips away. I was once that candidate who froze in interviews. I stayed stuck for years because I thought technical skills were enough. Don't make that mistake. The art of answering tough interview questions is not about memorizing answers. It's about learning the skill of confident communication. Change that. And you don't just crack the next interview, you change your career forever. See you in our next session.